Howdy folks, Justin from the G Farm. I thought I'd take the time today to show you around the farm. It's about as busy as it's ever been. We've got critters all over the place, and I want to be clear about how we farm and our practices and management. And let's see what we got, and let's talk about it. So, sorry about the noise over here. We are next to a big highway, so things are a bit loud, but this is the herd. We raise Herefords and Hereford crosses, and back here is our bull in the back. They kind of huddle up like this in the warmth and try to shade from one another, but it's not too terrible out here. They're just kind of being antsy, and they're expecting new grass because I'm visiting. So yeah, we got about 17 on this farm. We have 5 more that I just purchased that I'm keeping separate for the time being, and they're all going to get put together in a couple of weeks or maybe months, when it's time to get the cows bred. So that's when the bull will be giving them a visit. So we're grass fed start to finish on our property. We manage graze. That means that we rotate. They get moved around on a daily basis. So in the pasture where they're at here at the time being, they were right here the day before and a little bit further back the day before that. So tomorrow there's actually a little bit of residue hay on the other side over here that they're probably going to get tomorrow, or this evening rather, and then tomorrow they're going to be a little bit further west, and then we'll go down this row. In these rows, what I have going on are lots of trees and shrubs and such that get put into here. Some of these rows have taken better than others. For example, here's a little mulberry plant. With this drought that we're having, it's pretty darn dry, and we've lost a lot of plants, but we do what we can, and we are watering them. It's just a slow process, and it's tedious moving the irrigation around like that. So let's take one more. We're gonna go visit, let's go visit these chickens, and then we'll go visit those chickens. So these are the Salatin style chicken tractors. We move them on a daily basis. So the day before they were back here, and so forth all the way down. We did rotate the cows through this pasture before we moved the chickens through. It's kind of backwards over here where the cows are at right now, just because of how spring gets started and such. But yeah, these are Freedom Rangers. They look like Rhode Island Reds, but they're a Freedom Ranger. They are about 12 weeks old, 10 weeks old, and they're getting ready to go to the processor. We are going to get them all processed up over at AA Processing north of Eau Claire. And yeah, they get fed twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. They have a gravity fed water system to the Bell water, and this is one of our batches of about 280 chickens or so, and then they're going to continue on moving up, and then we're going to go around this gabion, and then we're going to follow back down the next row. So let's go see those chickens, the laying hens that is. So here are our laying hens. We have 150 in our flock. We do keep roosters around. They give notification to the rest of the flock that predators are around. That's their watering dish that gets hooked up to a water system that goes around the entire farm. As you can see here, these trees are a little bit more well defined than the other ones, and taking a look inside the mobile chicken tractor, the egg mobile. Let's see if light adjusts. There's the busy girls. We have a mesh floor. We have roosts for them to hang out in the evening. Automatic door that gives them access to the morning because I don't wake up as early as you think that I do. And being busy. Alright, so from here we're going to travel out that way and then a little bit further back. That's where we rotate in a wagon wheel our pigs. So see you there next. Alright, so now we're hanging out with the pigs. This is Harry Potter, our boar, man of the operation. And then we got 3 sows back here. This is Beans going over to the water. That's Brittany, and there's Murphy. They do get a little bit of green every day. That's where I drop it off at. They see me and I look like food, or they know that I bring food, so they've got food on their mind all the time. Currently they have access right here to a pasture. They go out there usually in the morning and a little bit also at night. We rotate in a wagon wheel, is what I was prefacing before, which means from this central location, which always has their food and their water, we move them around in each and every direction on a every 3 or so weeks. We'll move their electro netting and give them access to new space. These pigs are here permanently, full-time, so this is where they stay at during the winter. Last winter they did pretty good. I do think that I need to give them a little bit more structure. This shade shelter just doesn't cut it. I did try to do something with some round bales around the corner here, but it didn't entirely work out as I planned, so they're gonna get something else. That's the water system. Beans is getting a drink, and they'll probably come back here and hang out in the shade. So these pigs get a ration of, well, not a ration, a feed that is a soy-free feed that I mill myself. So I buy corn, oats, and field peas, and then I add in their nutrients, diatomaceous earth and kelp, and that is their feed. And they get 1 bucket of that for the 4 of them a day, and then the rest is out on pasture. I do collect spent grain from barrel 41, and I do bring that in. Sometimes they eat it, sometimes they don't, so whatever's good there. Backtracking a second too here, out of control. Backtracking a second here too. I want to talk about the feed for the chickens. The laying hens get a soy-free certified organic feed from Cashton Co-op. They are about 3 hours southwest of here, and I go and pick that up on a monthly basis. The Freedom Rangers, those are that particular batch. Each one of the groups that I bring through the farm each get a different ration of feed. I don't know why I always call it ration. Their food is different for each batch, and I do that because I think people's needs are different, and I'm trying to help give that healthy selection, the best options for each of the families that participate. So that group there has soy-free certified organic feed. We're about to visit some turkeys that are, actually, take that back. First we're going to go visit the pigs, and we'll go see some other chickens that have a different feed ration. I'll tell you about that when we get there. So see you in a second. So this group of about 17 pigs, I think it's 17, are lounging around in their shade. It is hot out today and dry. We are absolutely praying and have our fingers crossed for some good rain this evening. I think that'll help us all out. These guys will love to wallow in some mud as opposed to some dirt. That's the only one of this batch that has a name. That's Tiny, our runt for the year. not excited about that. But so these guys get rotated around in a circular pattern as well. The pasture that they have access to currently, there's a better up close look of what their water looks like. We got one pig hanging out over here. Couldn't take the oh, there we go. Couldn't take the company of everybody else, so got a solo pig hanging out. Same feed for these guys and gals. They are soy-free on-farm feed mix with corn, field peas, and oats. They also do get the spent grain from barrel 41. So this is a little bit better depiction of how dry it is out here right now. Definitely could use the rain. Need to get some grass growing again. Middle of summer and we're dry. So from here we're going to travel kind of over by the tiny house and where we do all of our hip camp stuff. We're going to go visit the baby turkey now. So see you over there. So this is our turkey brooding structure. We section off a portion of the chicken tractor and the turkey tractor, and we put the light underneath it, give them some food and water, give them some heat lamp, and these birds just came onto the farm yesterday. They'll stay in this shelter for about 3 or 4 weeks, and as soon as they start to get a little bit of size, they start to make a mess in here really good, I'll take down this board, and they'll utilize the entire space, and then as soon as I can, probably about a week or 2, maybe 3, I'll start to move this around, and then they'll get fresh grass, and eventually they'll get moved into another pasture that is where I move the rest of the birds around. So they'll kind of get coupled in with them in their own tractors, and at that point they will just be part of the crew, part of the chores. So but they are cute when they're little, for sure. They're eating a Cashton feed that is certified organic, and this is just certified organic turkey starter. So they seem to do better on pellets than the meal, so that's where we go. So from here, let's go take a look at the baby chickens that just came in this morning. So baby turkeys here came in yesterday, baby chickens in their own brooder, and I don't put them together because they can get what's called blackhead, and it is problematic. And the reason that I keep the turkeys in an entirely different area from the get-go on their brooding space is because if I've had issues with turkeys traveling across where the built up strong immune systems of the laying hens does give some problems, and does cause some of the turkeys to get diarrhea and perish. So that had been an issue at one point in time. So I just start them out in an entirely separate, segregated area until they're about at least 4 weeks old, and then their immune systems are pretty darn strong. It's hard to get rid of a turkey after they get to be 4 weeks. So, but those first 4 are very critical. So this is where we start our chicks. These birds just came in this morning. This hood helps keep all of the heat down inside of the... I'm going to turn you back off and turn you back on after I get this lifted up appropriately. One second. There they all are. getting hydrated, staying warm. Oh, one looks like it's sweating over there. I don't know if you see it underneath the light. It'll lift up the lamp a little bit. Maybe they're playing in the water. So regardless, they did come in this morning. This batch of birds is going to be, these are Freedom Rangers. So just like that first batch of chickens that I showed you out on pasture, this is them at just 2 days old. I think that they just hatched on, it's Thursday as I record this, and they would have hatched on Tuesday and shipped out right away. So they're being fed a certified organic feed, so that does include soy. One of the options that we got, so sure do like cute little chicks. Adorable. Alright, now we're going to go see what some Cornish cross chickens look like out on pasture, and that'll conclude our little walkabout the farm here. So, one more second, please. Alright, so we're back out here on pasture. These are our Cornish cross. This is our second batch of the year. They are about 7-8 weeks old, I guess. They will be going to the processor at the exact same time as the Freedom Rangers that you first saw. These birds are getting a certified organic feed, and they get fed twice a day. They got their water. They're all fighting for water right now. They're filled up yet. My wife was making comments of how they looked a little bit on the uglier side, like that one right there. I don't know if you can see that bird. They don't grow their feathers quite as much as they'd like to see, and not necessarily they don't need to have the feathers because it's so warm out. So their bodies regulate their temperature by negating to fill in their entire backs with all the feathers that a chicken would have if you raise it in the fall. So these white chickens, the Cornish cross, are a lot easier to clean up than the Red Rangers. Just the pin feathers and all the feathers just come off of the skin when you're processing them at a much easier clip. So there's the last set of them. I forgot to mention that out in this grouping, I mentioned that we do move the turkeys around with them. So these are the first batch of turkeys. So they're pretty indestructible at this point. They get moved right along on a daily basis, right with the rest of the chickens. And we're going to try to have these processed a little bit earlier in the year. It'll be good to get a couple of groups of turkeys in, so I think that that'll be helpful for us. So, well guys, folks, thanks for following along on this fantastic farm tour, farm walk. We do deliver directly to the door, farm to table delivery. You can find us at theg.farm, all your pasture poultry needs, and we hope to see you around. Thank you as always for all of your support.